Developing tonight, the U.S. Senate is mulling over President Biden's request to send billions of dollars in aid to Israel and Ukraine. Secretaries Blinken and Austin were on Capitol Hill today, making the case to lawmakers to help the countries at war. NBC's Chris Pallone explains what's at stake.
As protesters calling for a ceasefire in Gaza interrupted them, the president's top diplomat and military advisor urged lawmakers to approve a request which would send billions of dollars in aid to Israel and Ukraine.
In both Israel and Ukraine, democracies are fighting ruthless foes who are out to annihilate them.
Many are again making the bet that we're too divided or too distracted at home to stay the course.
In a different Senate hearing, FBI Director Christopher Wray argued supporting the nation's allies abroad will help keep Americans safe at home.
In just the past few weeks, multiple foreign terrorist organizations have called for attacks against Americans and the West.
The $105 billion foreign aid bill has significant bipartisan support in the Senate.
It's essential for American interest for us to support both Ukraine and Israel.
But in the House, new Speaker Mike Johnson has proposed stripping out money for Ukraine altogether and wants to cut IRS funding to pay for the $14.3 billion going to Israel.
I understand their priority is to bulk up the IRS. But I think if you put this to the American people and they weigh the two needs, I think they're going to say standing with Israel and protecting the innocent over there is in our national interest and is a more immediate need than IRS agents.
House Democrats are incensed.
How is it that the Speaker of the House decided to cheat the IRS revenues in order to pretend to support Israel? That is not support for Israel.
The Speaker's proposal comes as support for Ukraine among Republicans declines. After finishing his testimony before the Senate Appropriations Committee, Secretary of State Antony Blinken went directly to the Speaker's office to urge Speaker Mike Johnson in person to leave aid for Ukraine in the appropriations bill. In Washington, Chris Pallone, NBC News.
And just today, Israeli troops are stepping up their attacks on Hamas in the northern Gaza Strip. Hamas says several airstrikes leveled a number of apartments in a residential area near Gaza City.